What is going on, guys? We are back with another video today, and we are doing another career simulation on Madden 22, and today it is of, I would say, a fan favorite player that a lot of people have enjoyed watching. I know I have, and that's Mr. Rob Gronkowski. Quite a bit of a goofball, if you say, you know, a silly guy off the field, and an absolute tank on the field. Of course, you might think, did he really need a career resimulation? I'd say so, because once again, he retired in 2019. Maybe that was the best thing for him, technically, because you know, he was able to heal up, rest up. But obviously a guy not maybe as much technically as J.J. Watt. I really don't know the numbers, but a lot of seasons where he just didn't finish the season. A lot of injuries, obviously. I think he missed like 30-some games in his career that he could have started all for, on top of, like I said, the retirement in 2019. So, you know, at least a third of his career, I wouldn't say wasted, but a third of his career not on the field when he could have been. And that's pretty big. You know, if he had about 9,000 yards, a third of that extra probably locks him in for greatest of all time. Right now, there's arguments, you know, who's the greatest of all time. I feel like Travis Kelce's kind of like, he's actually getting up there. He's a freak. It is crazy, you know, nowadays. Like, it's like, oh, it's just you young kids talking about nowadays players. But there have been some really good players as of late. I know it probably helps in the passing era and all that. But, yeah, Rob Gronkowski, one of the greatest ever. Super fun to watch because of the ability after the catch. A really good run blocker, like really good, basically an extra offensive lineman, which also adds to his case, obviously. And once again, a guy that just didn't play his full career out the way he could have in a Madden sim, you know, a world where injuries are turned off and he's the automatic starter, I would assume, because you know, he's going to be drafted high in the second round. I would, once again, assume, because that is where he went in real life. So, looking at college players, I actually might have to sim because I edited him, and he's kind of a black dude that's bald. So, I mean, hey, whatever Gronk wants to do, you know, I wouldn't recommend it. You're going to get canceled, but hey, I suppose it worked out for Robert Downey Jr. But let's go. Maybe not the exact same, but we all forgot somehow. Looking at the tight ends, Rob Gronkowski, kind of the player model for our guy in Dolphins franchise. Definitely check that out if you haven't. I don't know what you're doing. Round 1 to 2 projection, he suffers from concentration drops, which, okay. Exceptional body control on the sidelines, obviously. Fights for every inch as a runner, obviously. Great at snagging passes midair, obviously. Avoids big hits. Well, that's just because he's so big. No one wants to hit him big. Wants to take every catch to the house. Technically, yes. Typically avoids getting flagged. We're not going to talk about that. Acceleration, marginal to decent. Agility and all the other things, great to elite, which I'm not really sure I agree with that, the way I made him, unless, you know, they boosted the stats or something. I think they're very fair ratings. I actually did have to drop the catching a little bit more than I would have liked, just based on him being already an insanely high overall. But, of course, let us go on. I could have been the Buccaneers for this, but, of course, I mean, he was a Patriot, right? I mean, you Buccaneers fans can cry all they want. He was a New England Patriot. He's not a Buccaneer. He has some moments. It's not like he didn't exist there, but if I was going to do one or the other teams, you know, voila. Did I say voila? Isn't it voila? I don't know. All right, it's going to be interesting. I'm hoping he doesn't go to the Cardinals, because he just had a Cardinals simulation for Todd Gurley. He was there the whole time. The team kind of underperformed for the most part, and then obviously they, you know, won a couple of Super Bowls. But overall, I don't want to see the same team back-to-back, you know. So we're going to see what the you know, future holds here. He's only star development trait, so I would assume he probably will be in the second round, but we are seeing some tight ends here. I felt comfortable that he wouldn't go any higher than 21, which I think makes sense. Green Bay could have taken him. Don't know if they would have kept Gesicki in Miami, but probably not someone that would have gone there. The Bengals could actually be a team. This could actually... Okay, we're having issues again with the undefined. And the Jaguars. This is a team that does develop very interestingly in sim. They actually do all right, so that's not bad. That's a pretty good scheme fit too. I like it. I actually really like it. They try to bruise teams, and obviously Trevor Lawrence is going to get a top-tier weapon, probably already the best weapon there. And, okay, a new team on the board. I like it. He's not the best weapon there. At least not yet. I mean, Prime Gronk, maybe better than Prime Devontae. It's hard to tell because, like, they obviously are two completely different positions, two completely different roles. It really kind of depends on what you do for, you know, what your offense is about. I'd say for this team, you'd rather have Prime Gronk, but I don't know, all time, every team across the league, who knows? You know, it's just too... It's too random. Of course, I don't think Devontae's going to Jacksonville, but, you know, if it's about Devontae wanting to get paid, Green Bay tags and trades him, and he doesn't care where he goes, he just wants money, you know, and if Jacksonville has the cap, I'm honestly not 100% sure if they do. I would imagine they do, right? But if that's all in order, it's not like it's impossible. Jacksonville obviously has some pretty good trade value. They also added Carlton Davis, Jabril Peppers, Evan Ingram. You drafted Gronk with Evan Ingram. I'm sorry, but, like, I get it. But if this is, like, a 3+ year deal, we're going to start Gronk over him. If he's only a 1 or 2, we might actually sit Gronk, which is really disappointing. I mean, okay, like, that's just the game glitching out. Because, like, why? I mean, you'd rather just put Evan Ingram at wide receiver, to be honest. Do we do that? Should we do that? Because, I mean, I just don't... You know, why would you get Evan Ingram as the starter? It's not like it's a bad deal, and, you know, Gronk is a good blocker, but what's the overall drop? He goes from an 81 to an 72. Oh, man, what a disaster. Jacksonville, year 1. Those free agent signings didn't look super great. I also didn't look at their rookies, but I don't think it really, you know, year 1 doesn't really matter too much because one of the higher picks is being used on... Huh. Alright, we're going to have to fix that. I'll just bump Trevor Lawrence a sliver. And then, of course, trade that quarterback off for whatever their biggest need is. And, you know, whatever the good player was at that need in a higher pick, you know. So, Gronk, about 800 yards, 300 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns. Better than his rookie year. Of course, another year where I think he was injured. But... yeah, not the greatest of years. You want those touchdowns to be high for him because that's where he's going to make his money in the red zone. The touchdowns matter a ton. And, of course, talking about how good of a blocker he is, didn't really see those numbers from James Robinson, who's actually really good in sim usually. So, a little disappointing of a year 1. But as far as a tight end goes, 800 yards is still... it's still something, of course. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Gronk was at number 5. With Mitchell at number 1. So, yeah, I mean, even if he's an X factor, we're going to trade him off for somebody because it just doesn't make sense that, you know, Trevor Lawrence is the guy here, and in Madden, they keep him, you know? Well, they keep him, but they draft someone, and you know what I mean, god damn it. Of course, the Niners against the Bills, maybe Tom Brady went to the Niners, I never, you know. But the Bills did win the Super Bowl. Fair enough. And he was normal dev, so really good job there, guys. He really killed it in the draft. But as far as what this team needs the most, a free safety could be up there. They're not taking free safety number 1, though, so maybe a replacement for Chason or a DT. So, yeah, we need someone. What kind of scheme is this? It's supposed to be, I would imagine, a 3-4, but with the builds they have on the interior, what the hell are you going to do with those guys? I get you can shift them in and out, but okay. Maybe actually tackle. We're going to look for the best rookie tackle, and I think the Jaguars would like to do that. I think in real life you maybe trade down a few spots, and then, well, I mean, pass rusher probably is the best thing to do, but yeah, tackle or I guess edge rusher. Not that it really matters too much for us because half the time they let them go anyways, so we'll try to find a good edge rusher that was in the draft and, you know, trade for him. So we trade Mitchell to the Falcons, who do actually need a quarterback, for a star development trait right outside linebacker. He's like 84 speed, 80-some excel with like 82 finesse, and 47th pick overall in this year's draft, which I think, once again, is all completely fair. All right, still a pretty high draft pick, and a bunch of 70s. I don't know what to expect here. A hidden development trait, right tackle, good. Free safety is, oh my lord, is this a linebacker? What's that? They go with a cornerback, Kyle Armstead. Hidden development 23, though, but fast. Okay, fair enough. A left tackle, also hidden. So they get a new set of tackles. They get a right end who's hidden. That's a perfect scheme fit and a right outside linebacker that they really don't need, although he is good. This guy could even be hidden. He's not a bad draft. That's actually a sick draft. And then once again, pick 3, the extra second round pick, the extra third round pick, but insane. That's actually really good. All right, here's the squad. Wait, who's this? Wait, actually, who is this? Is this someone they drafted year 1? I guess it's a superstar development center. This team's kind of popping off. I mean, they got 3 starting linemen for the future. They got their number 1 wide receiver, their tight end. Chenault, maybe not. James Robinson is still pretty young, obviously. Lawrence is an 80 overall. What else do we have? Miles Jack is decent. Price is decent. I mean, it's a good team. I mean, it's not a good team, but it's a good rebuild team. Like they're well on their way. And 8-9, okay, better, definitely better. 4 extra wins on the list. Trevor Lawrence, not super great though. James Robinson, okay. Gronk, better this season as well. As far as him getting a dev up, because once again we know that tight ends can't go from star to superstar without a little bit of help from a user. That's pretty good. If he has another season similar to this, maybe goes to 1,000 yards or something like that, or double-digit touchdowns, probably will give him superstar. I think. Tight end numbers are not the easiest to hit, but I need some consistency there. So it's gonna be a little bit of a disaster in this one, but not bad row saws as well. I mean, it looked like a season where if Trevor Lawrence just puts up a little bit more touchdowns, they probably make the playoffs, but not so fast. So we will move on as the Bills are back in the Super Bowl against the Cowboys this time, and the Bills do not win back-to-back. They lose by a lot. Another draft, pick 15. They go with a DT's hidden. And boy, you are royal. You're my king, my prince. I kind of want to take a look at his dev. Something just tells me he's going to be decent. Actually, something tells me he probably is star. Yeah, star development trade. 70 overall. They at least go with someone fast this time. You can see 91 speed, 91 excel. Definitely a guy that you could work around. Another fast guy. Javon Ware, a little bit lower in overall. And it got much worse from there. 4th round pick is a quarterback, and he's awful. He's not even fast. He's just bad. J.R. Barnett. I mean, it's just really got 2 good picks in this class. Maybe 3 if you use it a middle linebacker, but yeah, we're not doing that. And 8-9 again. I don't know where the hell the top performance are. It's well past week 1, okay? Trevor Lawrence, the touchdown to pick ratio is good, but the yards and touchdowns in general are low. The rushing numbers aren't even that spectacular. Gronk's numbers went down, unfortunately. Yeah, just not a great year, really, for the team as a whole. Right guard, is he hidden? He's hidden. I know they do have a lot more hidden development trade linemen in the drafts nowadays, but it is clutch that this team has basically got a full squad now that's young and ready to go. They grab another DT. So, I mean, not a great draft. The guard's all right, but nothing too spectacular. I don't even know how good the guard actually is, but I just know he's hidden. And yeah, he's out. Playoffs 10-7 is not good enough. That must have been like literally the last team to miss. It had to be. There's no other way around it. I think so. I mean, yikes. That hurts. But still, 10-7's got to mean that at least the season was probably all right. Let's take a look at some of the players. Of course, Trevor Lawrence with 30 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, more yards at least. Rushing touchdowns are way up, though. Gronk, good, not great. I'd like to see more touchdowns, though, because this is like... for a guy as good as him and as big as him, he should be getting more touchdowns. I don't want to just move to the Chiefs scheme, but that is the scheme that kind of gives the most to the number 1 tight end. I think if we went to the Patriots, it would kind of split between the 2 tight ends a little bit. So I don't know. We might try again. I tried the Chargers in this one. I think they used the tight end decently well. They just never really had a great one or haven't had one for some time. Dallas is in the Super Bowl again. The Bengals actually won the year before, and Dallas wins another one here. Not a whole lot has changed with the roster after the last couple of seasons, but we are seeing some regressions. Keenan Allen and Devontae did actually meet up in the end, just not in the way they probably would have thought. And let's take a look at Gronk. He's an 86 overall now. He's 25. He's still, growing as a player. Pretty good route running. Deep route's a little sucky, but yeah. Did I not? I forgot to even show you guys the ratings, by the way, which it's not. They didn't really change too much. The catching, I think it was 79 to start. Speed and Excel, Excel would have been 84, and Agility was 83. I don't know if Agility would have changed anyways. Trucking, Stiff Arm stayed the same. The only thing that really changed was the route running, medium and short. Short was like 69, medium was 68, and the deep route didn't upgrade one bit. Catching traffic I had at 84 with spec catch at 83. I put it as low as I could just to keep him at, somewhat decently low overall because he was a 77 to start. So, yeah, I kind of forgot to show you guys, but it doesn't really matter too much. Like I said, I just listed off the stats there, and yeah, looking at the defense, some pretty decent devs actually. It's just the team hasn't been able to get over the hump to get to the playoffs. And we're back to 8-9. I think we're going to change the scheme yet again, but let's take a look. Trevor Lawrence was up there for completion percentage and yards and all that, so offense looked all right. It's just, hey, Gronk with a really good season. Maybe we do keep the scheme. I don't know, but yeah, the defense kind of sucks. Something's not working, right? Because we're not making the playoffs with a pretty decent team, right? 86 overall. That's got to be one of the top 10s in the league, which, there's a lot more playoff spots than 10, but another miss? I don't know, I guess. I mean, once again, it's still pretty early. Gronk just needs to get like 4 Super Bowls and just beat the stats, and he could be better than real life. But it's not a great start as the Saints beat the Bengals back in the playoffs. So the Bengals or the Super Bowl have been reaching it 3 times now, and I think they only won 1. Another pretty bad draft, to be honest. Another wide receiver that's smaller, not even that crazy athletic in normal dev. That was the draft they had last year. They go for a tackle, normal dev, free safety, hidden, and he's fast. I think they already have the free safety they drafted earlier, though, so we're going to put this guy at strong safety. I'm not even sure if they need a strong safety to get Jabril, but I suppose. So let's take a look at Dev over here. Star, as expected. Yeah, another nothing draft. I'm just not gonna show these when this happens because obviously these are just useless. All right, so this team is definitely taking a GG, if you will. The receivers suck. Well, wide receivers at least. I mean, Keenan Allen's on his last legs here. Everyone else is awful. Gronk is good, but not really progressing super crazy high. Trevor Lawrence is a superstar X Factor now, which is pretty cool. Offensive line is still pretty damn good, obviously. Wait, was Brown always superstar? Wait, my brain hurts. I don't remember. Like, he obviously can't go up in dev, but I thought maybe there was like some update I never heard about. But was he superstar the whole time? I just like glanced over that fact. If he was, I freaking didn't notice it. But yeah, I mean, we're kind of going downhill. They didn't even keep the rookie they drafted that was fast. Oh my lord, this team is a bit of a disaster. I am pissed. I made a tweet, if you follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr, talking about how it's a modern day miracle that the power didn't go out all weekend. Decent bit of gust of winds, some snow bursts. They call it a snow squall. I learned about it when I got blaring emergency notifications on the hour for like 5 hours. Power was fine. Everything's fine. I tweeted out because I was like, hey, the worst is behind us. And then I lose half of the freaking recording due to powers dropping twice. The Audacity recordings were fine, but what am I supposed to do with that? Just play audio with some like stick figure drawings in Microsoft Paint or something? No. And I should be skipping ahead. I should be zooming ahead, talking as fast as I can just to get something recording out. I have nothing else that I can post. This is going to be one of the worst videos I've ever uploaded. But you know what? I get to blame the weather, which is just fantastic. Now, I will say, in general, it wasn't a great sim for Mr. Gronkowski, at least touchdowns-wise. I don't even know when the last season you guys seen. It's going to be skipping ahead. I don't even know. This is I'm going to give it to myself, all right? I get the power. I have the power, obviously. I get to control what you guys like and I would say dislike, but, you took that away from me as well. I get this one time of just uploading absolute trash. They're like, what do you mean one time? It's every damn day. But, yeah. So, long story short, Gronk actually started making the playoffs. After the recordings you guys seen, made the playoffs twice in a row, and then pretty much every year outside of like 2 ever since then. I didn't even think about it till just now. I don't know. Maybe actually I can look at it. The Lions went undefeated all the way through. Was that this year or is that last year? Undefeated the whole way. I think it was this last year, actually. They literally went 17-0 in the regular season and then won the Super Bowl. And ironically enough, it was against the Patriots, who they lost to a couple years back in the Super Bowl. I don't know what's going on with that team. But like I said, Super Bowl champion Detroit Lions. But that's kind of not the point. The point here is that Gronkowski is like on his last legs. I didn't actually look at the season totals. But first things first, before we ruin that, I got to salvage something. Not even time-wise, but just something worth watching, I guess. Just showing, the actual like seasons for Mr. Gronk. His ratings actually kind of did drop pretty quickly, to be honest. He was like 90. He was like 85 catching by the time he was like 30. Really dropped hard. But we'll take a look at Gronk's numbers per season, then we'll show the full stats. So like I said, I did play this legitimately, and I lost about 45 minutes of recordings. It's fantastic. I loved it. It was great. Hell, I don't even know if this is going to last. I might not even get this done in time. I got to at least hit end before, because apparently when your power drops on the Elgato, it don't matter. It's like, didn't have enough time. See ya, erasing. Although the Audacity is like, I've got you covered, dude, which I suppose it's, file sizes and whatnot. But yeah, Gronk, he became an X Factor in his last year here with Jacksonville. We made him a superstar here. Didn't go X Factor, went X Factor here. They got rid of him. He went to New York, did all right, made the playoffs like 3 out of, 5 years. The closest he ever made to a Super Bowl was 2 championship runs, I believe, with the Giants and the Jags. They both lost, both of them. Jacksonville lost to the Broncos twice. I think maybe once to the championship, and then the Giants lost to the Eagles in the championship. And I think the Eagles lost that Super Bowl, so it didn't really matter. And then, of course, here the Chargers, barely a starter. He would have been a backup for the Giants. They got rid of him. And, of course, he started for the Chargers. He was okay, but the team in general, speaking of, Herbert as well, is like under an 85 overall. He just not worthy. They're just obviously too low of an overall. But let's take a look at the career stats of Mr. Gronk. This is, once again, just not a video I'm proud of, but touchdowns, believe it or not, all these seasons played, games played 238, all these seasons played, and he has only a few touchdowns more than real life. However, yards-wise, he is significantly higher. I actually kind of want to see what his average yards per, game play is, which I imagine in real life is probably a lot higher, to be honest. Maybe in, like, the 14 range? Yeah, 15 on the nose in real life. For yards per reception, which is, 33% pretty much higher than him in here. The yards after the catch monster himself. Speaking of yards after the catch, 4,300 compared to 1,300 or 13,000 total. That might be a little bit higher than real life, I will admit, even though yards per reception are there. So the yards after catch, I, for some reason, cannot see. What the hell is this? Bro, I can't find yards after catch. They have like a glossary of how many different things, but they won't show me the damn yards after the catch. How is this so hard to find? Well, they don't want me to be happy ever. So, more power to them, I guess. And honestly, even though this video is like tragic and it's kind of short, I would imagine, I really hope this is over. I hope he retires because I just cannot trust the power. I literally can't. Like the electrical power, not like, I'm not, hey, whoa, wow, hey, relax. Broncos with the, sheesh, that's a close one, with the Super Bowl over the Seahawks, getting a little bit of revenge, a couple decades late, but they still got it. That's really all that matters. Is Gronk on this list? And tell me Gronk is on this list. Oh, please tell me Gronk is on this list. Ah, no. It's going to go again. I'm going to be sad. Hurry. Hurry. Oh, no, dude. Is he even here still? I don't even know why I'm looking now, because if he's going to be gone, he'll be gone after. Oh, he's still good. He's an 82 overall. He's been here for years. It's going to go again. I was going to look to see if he was still on the roster. It's not a good sign when he's in your top, what is this, 8? It's not even top 8. It's top 7. He's really low overall, so that's not a good sign. So, but hey, he's still in the league. Woo. no playoffs. So, I mean, it's really just about stats again, as Herbert doesn't have a really good year, so I can't imagine Gronk would have. And no, he did not. That is, I mean, that's like star development status, which, I mean, I could let him retire on top, but, I mean, even in Madden, I think he's like normal, and he played way better than he did here. So, yeah, I mean, we'll keep him at star, I guess, but overall, I mean, quick look at those career stats, because I can't imagine there's going to be another chance to look, as he just misses out on 14,000 yards, just misses out on 1,300 catches, 98 touchdowns, just misses out on 100 there as well, and yeah, I mean, just not a great resim in general for video, and obviously missing half the freaking footage, but in general for Gronk as well, I mean, it is a tight end. I don't know how many resims we've done for tight end, so I can't really compare this to any other ones, how it compared, but those are great yards and touchdowns, but compared to like not having any Super Bowl wins, and of course the Giants won. It's already set in stone. I don't know if I mentioned it, but he did leave the Jags, and they won a Super Bowl. The Giants now win a Super Bowl, as you will. Obviously, that's how it works. So maybe not 4 touchdowns, but could have had 2. Didn't though, because once again he left. Maybe not his choice in the more recent years, but the Jaguars definitely, he had a choice unless they were broke, and he decided to leave. But let's see if he's still here. Year 2036. The left tackle of the Giants. Wait, he wasn't even the Giants. He was the he was on the Jags, and then he went to the Giants. What is going on? How is everyone just following Gronk around? Is he gone? Gronk, just freaking leave. Keep forgetting how long tight ends last in this damn game. He's going to be 38. He's going to be 40. Could you not? He's still here. He only dropped 3 overalls. He's not good, though, if that's any consolation to anyone, which it really isn't. But maybe he'll be too low of an overall to start. Nah, 79 overall is not that bad. It's not terrible. Uh-oh. My man's is likely a free agent, but surely someone will sign him. I've seen plenty of 79 or under 79 overall tight ends starting across the league before. So, yeah, I imagine by the time we hit the regular season here, he'll be on a team. And if not, well, we're going to kind of count that as his retirement, I suppose. Anytime that's happened before, it just doesn't work out, especially for a tight end. You know, maybe you can get away with like a quarterback or wide receiver, but tight end usually, if they're in free agency and they don't get picked up, it's usually a GG. Oh, maybe not. Freaking Brady loafed us a little too early. He had a couple years left in him. I had to do it. I really didn't, but I said it, so I did. Gronk's not here, so I imagine he's on a team. Let's find him. Let's find him, capture him, and do experiments on him again, because we didn't really get the data we needed last time. I mean, hell, this team itself would use him as a starter. He gone. Excuse me. Where the hell is he? We're going to still sim the season, just to make sure, because maybe he'll show up somewhere. You know, maybe at some party, taking his shirt off, getting tipsy, dancing like a crazy man. Somehow, some way, he will be back. We will find him. All right, so it's the postseason. Want to take another look to see if Gronkel's in here. Herbert's a free agent, which is, a little surprising. As you can see here, he's not here. But once again, maybe he got picked up middle of the season or something. I don't know. I didn't see him myself, but he's somewhere, perhaps. I don't think the AI can actually change players' positions, if I'm not mistaken, so I don't think he would have been playing a different position. But I suppose we might as well take a look at some of the older players in the league. And really, the oldest across the league, maybe it's just because there's not enough names, or there's too many names anyways. He's 37 apparently, but I think Gronk's gone. I think he's done. I think he's out of here. I think he left just like the power a couple times. Please just let me finish. Give me like 2 minutes. Do whatever juice you need to juice. And of course, the Giants, they're doing it. They're doing it again. Gronk could have came close. He could have, if everything would have went right, he could have came close. 3 Super Bowls with the numbers he had would have been better than real life. This could have been salvaged if he didn't constantly leave teams that were better for him. Unfreaking believable, but hey, it be what it be. We are basically done. I want to see if we can actually see him somehow on the list. I highly doubt it, but we have seen in the past that, you can't see them, but they're there. you know, they're there. It's like the wind, like lost loved ones. Although I can't confirm that one, but the wind I can, kind of. But let's see if we have any retirements of the Gronk variety. Mac Jones retires. A couple of Super Bowls there. Pitts is gone. And I feel like we're not going to see him because I don't see him here. Unless, of course, he's not gone yet. Nah, he's definitely gone. You just don't see him. But yeah, I mean, he disappeared. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I'm not going to, like, you know, get like an investigation going to find where he may have went. But that's going to be the very peculiar career resimulation of Robert Gronkowski. You know, about 14,000 yards, 98 touchdowns, 1,300 some catches. No Super Bowl wins, though. And as far as awards go, you wouldn't have had any award wins because, you know, they're hard to win alone as a tight end. But let alone, he really wasn't the best. Really many years, maybe 1 or 2 if he was lucky. He just kind of skimmed. But overall, consistency-wise, maybe he was still one of the best. Obviously, numbers, he came out with those numbers. Those are very top-tier numbers for all-time lists. So, could have been up there. That's the wrong thing. I was like, really? Calvin Johnson's back? But yeah, you're not going to... Oh, actually, he came close. Yeah, I think he's still the best all-time. I know you got Pitts here. I don't know if he won any Super Bowls, but maybe the best all-time because he would be up there, very high up there, and obviously, you know, played with a little bit of iffy talent at times. Of course, Gates, you know, Charger himself, some touchdowns, obviously, but debatably the best all-time. If you count real life to the in-game, I don't know. Better numbers technically, but yards per catch, yards after the catch, I imagine were a lot worse in real life. Just the main thing is those Super Bowl rings, and he just didn't have them. So maybe not the best all time, but really good. So yeah, obviously, he would have solidified himself, assumingly, if he would have been healthier. And that's really all we can say. Gonna try to get this freaking clicked and finished before it goes. If you guys enjoyed this one, you're probably a madman, and I appreciate you a ton. Maybe leave a like and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, JeromepkR, second channel, PK Plays, and then twitch.tv/JeromepkR for streams, which will be back live more than likely tomorrow. We just got done streaming the Super Bowl, which was insane. That'll probably be uploaded on Friday or Saturday. And yeah, sorry for the iffy, not great video, but we'll be back with 2 uploads tomorrow for sure, and probably a rebuild on Thursday. So we'll try to make it up if we can. And yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys come back for next video. But until next video, see ya!